Paolo Banchero fiercely denies the claims that he and Wendell Carter Jr. have any sort of beef. He responds on Twitter to the viral video that's got everybody up in arms. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about this team dynamic beyond just that post and Paolo Banchero feeling the need to address it. And we're going to be talking about the Pelicans game because there's actual basketball to be played. That is going to be tomorrow evening. We're going to preview that game, talk a little bit about the injury report as well. But first, guys, welcome on in to the channel. This is Magic Digest. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. 75% of you watching these videos regularly aren't, so join the 25%. We're trying to build an Orlando Magic basketball community here on YouTube. As always, I'm your host, Patrick Previty. Let's get into what exactly happened. So if you haven't seen the video yet, it's kind of funny. It's an edited clip first showing Banchero firing a pass to Wendell Carter Jr., who's wide open in the corner. He bricks it off the side of the backboard, and then a clip later in the game shows Banchero walking back to Orlando's timeout huddle with no audio to accompany it. The video puts incorrect subtitles over the over his kind of would-be voice, and it's "what the F are they paying you for?" That is what it's supposedly he said. Paolo Banchero said, nah, y'all put together two clips from separate games, and it's essentially not true, and obviously he's not going to he's not going to do that. We know Paolo Banchero as being a very level-headed superstar here in Orlando over the first handful of years of his career, and it doesn't really add up with anything that he would say. And then obviously said it's clipped from two different games, and there's no issue. He said, "I'm rocking with Dell. Y'all went and pulled two clips from different points in the game. SMH, that's not what was said either." I mean, it just doesn't. I don't really think he would say anything like this, so you got to trust it. But at the same time, for anybody to really be questioning that or saying stuff like that, that really shows you how, like, where we are in the season and how bad it has gotten, right? Because separate from just a viral clip or anybody getting sentelled or anything like that, it's really just a testament to what is going on with this team and how badly this team has been playing over the last handful of games. Now, the Orlando Magic, known for the gritty defense, hustle plays, Jamahl Mosley's buy-in, right? Players buying into the culture that he has set, has kind of faded as the season has gone on, and the cloud of struggling to shoot the basketball, injuries as well, no moves at the deadline has kind of stopped this team from making what we all thought could be a second round to Eastern Conference Finals peak, that would be peak playoff push, right? This team is nowhere near the middle of the expectations that we had for this season coming up. And unfortunately, when that happens, well, stuff like this end up going viral rather than highlights of the team or any of the other good moments that potentially you could grab from even the loss against Houston, because there were some positives, like the turnovers that we were able to force against Houston. That was a positive. They were just offset by the offensive glass from Houston. But one of those things that you just have to continuously note whenever you see stuff like this, right? So Paolo Banchero, we're going to get into the Pelicans game just in a minute. Just wanted to go over how Paolo and Wendell Carter Jr. have been playing this season. Paolo Banchero has played very well, but it's been the games. Obviously, he had the torn oblique, but since the All-Star break, he's been very good. He was good in the Rockets game. A lot fell on his shoulders. Franz wasn't able to really support him as the true number two in that game. He was the second best player in that game, don't get me wrong, but he wasn't able to support Paolo enough, and unfortunately, the Orlando Magic offense only had 84 points, but Paolo Banchero still contributed enough. Wendell Carter Jr. actually did not have a bad game against the Houston Rockets. He just didn't have a very effective game. It wasn't one of those games where he was able to step up as the third best player or the third leading scorer for the team, but he also got a little bit of a bad rap for how he was defending Steven Adams, but I don't really think it was his fault. I think the entire front court was just outmanned and outmatched. When Wendell Carter Jr. plays the four, he's a lot better. Unfortunately, he was not put into a great position. Maybe that's by Coach Jamahl Mosley, or maybe you just got to tip your cap to what the Houston Rockets were able to do. Regardless, I felt like offensively, he still had a pretty decent game, but like I said, wasn't extremely effective. All right, when we take a look at the Pelicans game tomorrow night, we know that we need to get a win here. We know that this Orlando Magic team has been struggling to put together wins, and I believe we've lost now 7 of the last 8 games. The Orlando Magic are healthy outside of Jalen Suggs and Mo Wagner, who are both out for the rest of the year. So when we take a look at the injury report, we shouldn't see any surprises. It's really only those two guys and nothing else. For the Pelicans, Brandon Boston is out. Herbert Jones, DeJounte Murray, Kelly Olynyk, they're all out for the season. So they come in with pretty much their guys. Right now, the Pelicans have had a putrid season, 18-48. They're 14th in the Western Conference. This should be a layup. Despite being on the road, the Magic should win this game. The Magic really should win this game. I would be thoroughly shocked if they didn't. The last time these teams met felt like a different season ago. 115-88. The Magic took that game against the Pelicans. That was back early November, right? So they lead the season series 1-0. Now they go to New Orleans to go play them. I don't really see a scenario here where the Magic lose, but we've obviously seen this Magic team have some really, really awful moments this year, and this would probably just continue to dig them down under if they were to lose to the New Orleans Pelicans, who are probably also in an active tank. Hopefully it's not a rerun of what we saw against the Raptors, where a team is pretty much trying to lose, or they don't have a lot to play for this season outside of next season, and then the Magic fall to them in that route. So what are the things that this team needs to do to win this game against the Pelicans? Because obviously this is the NBA. No team is going to roll over, even if it's just any given night. And the Pelicans might want to start losing their games for the rest of the way here. Well, this team definitely has to make sure that they don't ever get dominated on the offensive glass again, like they did against the Houston Rockets. That will spell disaster for any team, and it did for the Orlando Magic. They need to continue to force turnovers. That was really, really good on their end in the game against Houston, and it was part of the reason why the offensive glass wasn't the detriment to the Magic in the first half. It was a very close game up until about, I would say early-ish in the fourth quarter to mid-fourth quarter range, whenever the Magic just simply could not keep up with the Houston Rockets three-point barrage. But it was the turnovers. Forcing those will continue to mask some of the offensive issues that the Orlando Magic have. Also, lack of turnovers, or not giving the ball away. Keep that up. The Magic have done a good job of that as of late, and this has been something that was kind of written, was changed since December. They had a big problem with this in December. They haven't had that. They've written their wrong in a sense, and they have not turned the ball over a ton. They were not turning the ball over against the Houston Rockets a ton. Now, that was mainly a first half stat. In the second half, it got more even. They just need to make sure to continue that on. Now, three-point percentage. This team cannot just shoot 5 of 10 or 5 of 11 from the three-point line in the first quarter, and then for the rest of the game only make 3 threes. That's not going to work. 8 of 32 from the three-point line, or whatever they were in this previous game against the Houston Rockets, simply won't work in the NBA. They know that. They've got to, at least, if you're going to hit 8 threes for an entire game, you need to only take 15. I know you got to keep the defense honest at a certain point, so you're going to have to take those shots, but they need to either decide that they're not going to shoot nearly as many threes as they did in the previous parts of this season, or they're going to have to start knocking those down and get some better looks, get some more open looks. If Jamahl Mosley can put this team in proper position, I think that this team is talented enough to win games, especially against a tanking team like the New Orleans Pelicans. But guys, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Unfortunate that we're just talking about the rumors and the social media posts, but hey, it's an off day, so just having a little bit of fun with it. But seeing that obviously shows where we are this season. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And as always, I will see you guys next time with more Orlando Magic basketball content.